Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Napoleon, and today I'm back with another Enlisted video, and this time we're going to be talking about the maps in Enlisted. And of course, there are going to be a lot of issues with the maps in Enlisted, of which one is going to be covering the section about how these maps can improve and adding new potential maps. But that said, without further ado, this video has been made possible for friends at Discord, meaning if you haven't liked, subscribed, or joined Discord, highly suggest that you do. But that said, let's get started. Number one thing I would like to talk about maps is the fact that these maps are quite lackluster. For example, for one, it's obviously not historically accurate except for some maps in Stalingrad, some maps in Berlin, some maps in Normandy, and some maps in Tunisia, or should I say inspired by. Most of the other maps are highly inspired by or other made, which raises the question, how balanced are they? For most of the maps, a lot of people would give bad representation. For example, quarry if you're on the attacking side, airfield if you're on the attacking side, or any other map that a lot of people don't like, which makes sense because some of these maps are truly not balanced. On the other hand, another thing about the maps is that they're also quite lackluster in the sense that there are a lot of maps that we could have gotten. For example, Pavlov's house, if you've seen Quadro's video about Stalingrad, which is really lackluster. Also, with the new progression coming, we potentially can see a bunch of new maps, hence there is going to be a lot of interesting stuff. But in terms of the internal stuff, I believe maps need to be fixed, maps need to be patched, or we should get new maps that essentially will make balancing more interesting. So that's going to be that. The second part of this video, I'm going to be talking about what maps should be added, and there are going to be a lot. Off the bat of my mind, I think a lot of maps that should be added are going to be maps such as the Curse map, which could be really easily done, and you don't really have to change a lot of factions. The Battle of the Bulge maps, and when I'm talking about these maps, I'm talking about a series of these maps, so that's going to be interesting. An Italy map with Italian troops as a campaign, and hopefully they're added eventually when Enlisted progression hits. And when I mean progress, eventually I do mean Italians will be added in their own faction after the new progression is done, so that's going to be interesting. Another thing that I would like to see is the Finnish map, or should I say Mannerheim line, or Finland in the Winter War. Now, obviously, Finland is not going to be added as a faction, at least not yet, nor do I think Finland will be added as a faction, but if it does, I will not be surprised. But if Finland is added, I highly suggest that we get a lot of winter maps in Finland, and most importantly, we get a lot of Finland maps without the Finns, so that's going to be very interesting. Another map I would like to add is essentially with the British and the Germans. We should add maps like Norway, mountainous maps, and we should add other maps like El Alamein in the desert, which is much more possible thanks to the British and Germans eventually in their own separate factions. Not to mention we can have the Italians versus the British in the early war, so there is a lot of maps that we can add. Hopefully, a lot of people will be asking me, what do I prefer? Hopefully, they do a lot of more corrections than historical accuracy, because as of right now, the gaming experience is more important than historical accuracy, from what I'm going to say, because although I'm very big on history, I think map balancing is much more important, so that's going to be that. Also, talking back about Normandy, I do like a lot of maps are not really there, in the sense that a lot of these maps are misrepresentation of landing zones, but like I said, it's okay because at least you're going to have fun. The real issue for me in terms of Enlisted maps is that they keep patching them, but they don't somehow make it better or more balanced, so that's going to be an issue. That said, that's all it for this video. What do you think of Enlisted maps? This is going to be a very quick video, and that said, that is all it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join Discord. I'll see you in the next one.